So the environmental issues dealt with, we're going to see normal competitive forces increase supply, and there'll be forks and new technologies interested, which are going to radically push down the price of all of the players in this particular space, which sounds great. What's next on that list, though, is what will governments do? What are the regulators going to go and do? Because clearly they're resistive to this.
Yeah. So the most important thing is that this requires a lot of education. You know, this is as disruptive or transformative as when the internet was created. And you know, I'm old enough to remember the internet when it was created, and the fear. We would send an email and phone each other and say, "Did you get it?" And everything operated in the intranet because we were too scared of using the internet. So, you know, and then people would say, "Oh my God, this is an evil tool because people are using it for gambling and prostitution." You know what, really? So can you see how everything evolves? The most important thing for governments is to start educating themselves as to the benefits, because those governments that embrace this technology, like China is doing, China has been researching this and applying it in so many areas, in so many areas of government, which you have to admit that is incredible, that they have seen the light as to the benefits of this technology. And therefore, I believe that other governments should be doing the same and having a blueprint as to, if I tell you that this technology reduces corruption and South Africa has a key problem in corruption, then if I was the president, I would have already set up, you know, a committee to say, guys, how do we implement this across the board? Not just the committee that we currently have for the fourth industrial revolution. That's all good and dandy. But what about the blockchain technology, which is a ledger that everybody can see at the same time, immutable, and therefore the cheating disappears? Isn't that the first national priority for the credibility of the government in this country? So that is why I'm very concerned that people are not studying. So,
I mean, you've been doing some work with government there, Monica. So, but one of the questions is, when governments are already looking at this with their national treasuries and central banks, and they're saying the equivalent that we're comfortable with is a stable coin. So we like the technology, we have to do something on this. We don't like the fact it's taken over our control of our ability to basically print money. Okay, so the one thing they don't like about Bitcoin is this limit of 21 million coins, you know, because that's completely anti any monetary policy in any government in the world. So what do you think is going to happen? Are we going to see stable coins becoming the thing? And are they really like Bitcoin? I mean, there'll be crypto involved in it, but it feels like they're centralizing again.
Okay, so first I would like to define a stable coin. So what's a stable coin? It's totally different to crypto. A stable coin is just technology like crypto-like, but it's backed by something. It's collateralized. So there's so many stable coins already in the market, but one very famous one is called USDC, that is backed one-to-one by the dollar, and it's been audited, and we know that the collateral is there. Then you've got MakerDAO, for example. I'm giving you just simple examples, that it's collateralized by ETH. So you have to, so you use cryptocurrencies to collateralize, and that is also very, very efficient. There are so many, but you have to understand that what's happened is that Bitcoin was meant to be the currency for the world. It didn't turn out to be because it fluctuates. So people are using it more as a store of value. As we know, the definition of money is unit of account, medium of exchange, and store of value. So at this stage, Bitcoin is just a store of value, and people are comparing it to gold because actually the return you get in investing in Bitcoin is much higher than gold that hardly has, you know, move up in value, even though we had crises and whatever. It's quite stuck. So we call it the old man's investment, you know, like the new generation. I doubt they're going to invest in gold, you know, they're going to like, you know, whatever. So I really believe that this is the technology of the future. So stablecoin is like crypto-like. It doesn't fluctuate, so it can be used as a medium of exchange and a unit of account. So that's why you heard less than a month ago the announcement by Visa. Imagine a credit card saying, if you have USDC, you can now pay and use your USDC, which is a stable coin backed by the US dollar, using your Visa credit card. So what happens, I give you an example, what normally happens by the people in this industry, you buy Bitcoin or ETH, for example, you don't want to sell it because it's remember, it's a store of value, fluctuates. So you have the objective that this thing is going to increase in value. So, but you now need, you are 100% invested in Bitcoin and ETH, all your income there. So now you need to pay for rent and your landlord won't accept cryptocurrencies. So now what you do is that you take out a loan, for example, from Aave. Aave is a decentralized exchange that if you give them your crypto, it will give you as a loan fiat. Fiat is the currency issued by a government. So in South Africa, fiat is rand, then you've got the yen, the dollar, and all these other currencies. So that's what Aave does. It gives you a loan in fiat. So you can keep the crypto and get fiat to pay the rent. The other thing is that you do is that when you buy and sell Bitcoin, for example, you don't convert it back into dollar or rand or yen or euro. You convert it into, for example, a stablecoin, USDC. So now you're sitting with USDC, you need to pay the rent, and Visa and MasterCard in future, all of them will allow you to use your stablecoin. So do you understand that this movement that is taking place for now, the younger generation is doing this. But as we move in time, people will cotton on that this is the way to go. And if we carry on doing this, then nobody's going to use the fiat currencies. And if we don't, then what happens to the fiat currencies and monetary policy and the influence that central banks want to exert over the economy? All of that is going to happen unless, and I wrote papers about this, I'm saying to the central banks, you must now issue your own stable coin backed by your own fiat currency. And I can write a lecture just on why this is called central bank digital currency at the retail level, why this is a game changer. And I truly believe that is the responsibility of the central bank to introduce this before everybody moves out of fiat. And I haven't even mentioned that Facebook, as you heard, is about to issue their own stable called DM, and they reckon they've got around 2.5 billion users of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. So all of those people will go into the DM and might never come out of that ecosystem, because if Facebook gets it right, they'll be able to have many merchants around the world accepting this DM.